Hiyo, it's me, Nicole Phoenix Star, and this is the Nick Star podcast. Well, I have been finishing up with quite a few of my wellness ladies. I think there's only 3 left to go. So, quite a lot of women have finished the 36-day journey. And there has been some spectacular results. The I was about to say the winner, but there is no winner. One woman lost 10 kilos in 36 days. She was quite the star of the show. She started at a heavier end of the weigh-in. So she started in at 119 kilos, and anyone starting from a higher number tends to lose more than those that, are more closer to their goal weight, just by the nature of, inflammation and difference in, regular calories and things like that. And so she also was impeccable with the program. And that's the thing is, some people had okay results, but they didn't stick to exactly what I said. And, that's what I say at the beginning of it. Just do exactly what I say, follow the formula impeccably, and you will lose weight. You will shift your symptoms. You will balance your hormones, and you will get a store of nutrients in your body that you probably have not had for a very long time, if ever. And it's exactly what happens. Like, you do exactly what I say, and there is, as I've always said, so much food, there's no restriction, and it's actually really easy. And that's the thing, the feedback that I got, this is just so easy. And I don't ever feel like I'm in restriction. I'm never hungry. I always feel satiated, and I have all this energy. And yeah, it's fascinating, like people getting their head around, eating similar things, if not the same thing every day, and kind of mixing up the macros when life is, different. um, because it's very, very adaptable. And that's the thing, like, just because you're going away, or just because you've got a super early morning start, or just because you don't have access to a kitchen, does not mean that you have to be interrupted, or are unable to follow the program impeccably. And, one of the women actually was taken off her heart pressure medication because she became so healthy. And that's a regular thing that I hear all the time. In fact, I got some thrilling news this week. I got a message from my father, who has had pretty chronic ulcerative colitis disease, which is a bowel disease, an incurable bowel disease, that is really quite chronic. And about 6 weeks ago, I tweaked his diet. I went over to his house and went through his fridge and went through his cupboards and went through his kind of regular meals that he eats, all the things he drinks, and tweaked them. He's been working with the same nutritionist for, I think, about 3 years, and he said to me, "They've never told me any of this stuff." And I said, "Yeah, I know, like, I they, follow the education that they have, and they presume you understand their level of understanding, and I know you don't." And so he was having all this sneaky gluten he wasn't aware of, and this sneaky dairy that he wasn't aware of, and he was very unaware that carbonation is one of the worst things for UC. And so we just tweaked everything, and then I went shopping with them and went through all the things at the supermarket and showed them everything and wrote down a bit of a meal plan around the things they like to eat, the things they regularly eat, and how to do that. And he sent me a message yesterday. And so basically, for a long time, he's had to take these sachets that bind his elimination waste, his poop, because otherwise he always has diarrhea, like always. And so he has this very, very expensive medicine that is a binding agent so that he is able to poop without chronic diarrhea. And he said yesterday he hasn't had any sachets for 6 days, and he's been able to poop in all by himself, and all his stools are solid, and he has no, like, the gut pain has not there, and all of those things. So essentially, his ulcerative colitis is in remission. It's never curable, but it can go into remission, and it can flare up, and it can go into remission. And basically, it's been a matter of weeks, and for the first time in a very, 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 very long time, he is in a state of remission where it's dormant, and he's able to eat and poop without the aid of medicine. And he's feeling so much healthier, and he's feeling just an overall level of vitality that he hasn't had for a really long time. And I said, "How do you feel?" And he goes, "I'm really impressed." And I said, "Oh, that's amazing. I'm so happy for him." And he finally understands that food is the greatest medicine we can have, is, nourishing our bodies with a lot of nutrients and making sure that any contradictions of our own personal, unique self, we work with that. And again, these are things that I've done with each individual woman in the wellness program. There's lots of different variants and lots of different things that each woman had to consider regarding their health and their um, dietary requirements and all of these things. And it's applicable to everyone, no matter what. So yeah, it's incredible, when we nourish the body in a way that it's just full of nutrients, and there's no stress and pressure on your hormones. The intelligence of the body just thrives. Like, it just is extraordinary, and it happens really, really quickly. Um, and we don't realize it's just consistency, like not deviating from it. And, someone said to me yesterday, "How long until you started mixing things up and, reintroducing pizza and stuff like that?" And I said, I ate the same thing um, pretty much 99% of the time for around 6 months. And the reason why I went so long was because so quickly and so extraordinarily, my crisis level chaotic hormones and perimenopause symptoms were at bay, and I was actually petrified of going back to the level of pain and life disruption and all of the things that I had been in before. And so I was like kind of just too frightened to deviate from it. And then I was forced to. I went to India for 21 days and I had very little control over the food. We were in a big group that was being led by someone else and organizing different foods. And again, I just took everything I knew and stayed within my caloric window. And I was, willing to put on weight and kind of just deal with whatever happened. And because of, me actively on the go adapting things, I did get a little bit of increase again in hot flushes, but that very quickly went away when I returned back to my regular eating program. Was the only thing. And literally, when I got home, I weighed in, and it was 22 days later, and I had lost 500 grams. And I thought might put on up to 5 kilos, um, which was kind of this weird buffer that I was accepting, I think, just to not be in freak out mode or something. But yeah, and there was also a conversation I had this week that I've been in maintenance and maintained the same weight. It's a couple of weeks off 1 year, and again, it's been completely effortless, and I do have a lot of variation in my diet now. I also have had to increase my calories again because I started losing weight, and just a- applying the formula to maintenance lifestyle. But the thing is and that's why it was 36 days long. So people got used to doing it every single day. And once you kind of get into the rhythm of things, um, there's very little kind of deviation. And so many people, lost 5 kilos or lost, anywhere between kind of 3 and 8, oh no, 6 kilos, but all their clothes were hanging off them and their body shape was completely different, but they had a lot of energy and vitality. And again, their symptoms, and they were getting the biggest thing was the change in sleep. So many people said, I have not slept like this for years. And yeah, that was a big piece for me too, was going outrageous, broken, so tired, but so wired states to actually having regular, deep, consistent sleep. And if I do wake up once, twice a night, I literally can roll over and go back to sleep pretty much straight away all the time. And that's, such a huge factor. Sleep deprivation and broken sleep is so difficult. And, so many perimenopause, menopause women normalize that, and it doesn't need to be that way. So, yeah, it's been so busy, like the last the last 5 weeks during this journey, because, it's all day, daily interaction. The accountability is fierce. And that's why it works, because you send me a picture of every single thing you eat. You send me breakfast, you send me a picture of your lunch, you send me a picture of your afternoon snack, you send me a picture of a dinner, you ask questions, you share, highlights. And there was a lot of, in the once everyone, and a lot of the first kind of 3 weeks was people kind of just asking about the food and these, and, things that were coming up. And it's interesting, there was this big theme over the last, 1 to 2 weeks where all this psych psychology around stuff came up, and there was a lot of root causes and a lot of, you know, trapped emotions that were manifesting in the body and all of these things. And so there was this real deviation into um, really addressing root causes of things that have led to so many parts of the journey. And another thing that was in a lot of discussion over the last week was there's this real evident experience of feeding yourself respectfully and how that translates to self-respect and self-kindness. And, you know, when you eat whole food that is balanced from a macro point and nourishes every part of your body adequately and some every single day over and over again, it's like eating with respect, like respecting yourself so much that that's how you fuel yourself, and how that translated to this feeling of incredible self-respect and recognizing in the past, like just, slamming food down and rewarding yourself with shit food really was a form of self-abuse. And the level of respectfulness that one feels when nourishing and nurturing at this level, it really, really is quite overwhelming. It's a form of self-love that is not talked about a lot. And the greatest way to show yourself self-love is not via a massage or, skincare, is by consistently, every meal, every day, nourishing and nurturing yourself. That lights up your body, that gives you energy, that helps you sleep, that makes you feel so different, that changes your body, that changes how your organs function. And it's really, really overwhelming that you are respecting yourself so much in the most profound way of self-love by nurturing and nourishing yourself with such an array of whole foods that are incredibly delicious, that are so satiating. You're never hungry, but you're always ready to eat. It's just wild experience. It's quite overwhelming, I assure you. And that's a common thread that we shared recently. And all of this, with a message from my very impressed with his health shift this week. It's it's so rewarding. It's so inspiring. It makes your face smile so hard it kind of hurts, that this is the realization that people get and the experience that people get by sharing, the lived experience and journey that took me out of extreme, miserable health crisis to consistent, fully integrated. This is life reality. Yeah. All right. There we go. That's what I got to share today. I have been asked when I'm going to run another wellness group, and I was thinking April. I haven't looked at it yet, so we will see. I need a little bit of spaciousness to catch up. It's been really, really full on and really, really busy and really, really fun and really, really lovely. But yeah, I need a little spaciousness to make sure I am continuing to be kind to me and do all the things in life. Because beast mode hustle is not available to me. It's not helpful for my hormones or my quality of life. So, yeah. All right, my love. Thank you so much for listening. I am so grateful. And if you feel that anyone may get benefit from this episode, please share. And of course, my website is www.nickstar.com, NIKSTARR. I realize I've got a bit of a deep, sexy voice at the moment. I have been talking a lot for weeks, and I notice that, yeah, my voice is a little bit worn out of late, but that's okay. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful week. Bye.